Hello and a very warm welcome to The Real Talk. We do hope that your day has gone well. Thank you for making time to join us for yet another conversation that I believe will be life-changing. We're going to get to know more about our guest, but we'll also know more about the organization that she heads. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. When you find time, please come over and have their lunch. They do have a weekday lunch buffet. Time to meet the guest. Welcome to The Real Talk on RTV. We are live on YouTube. Please share the links and we have as many people as possible joining us and watching the show. Our guest is Ambassador Christine Nkulikiyinka. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I always looked forward to having this sit down.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We will be having a conversation with her. Ambassador Christine is the CEO of Rwanda Cooperation Initiative, but she has had a long career that we will get to know more about today. Please do share the link once again so that we have our friends watching. Ambassador Christine, let's go back to where it all started. Where did your life begin? Today we sit with you as Ambassador Christine. I'm looking forward to learning when the title Ambassador came in.
Oh, okay.
But let's go to even before that title. Where were you born? What kind of family were you raised in?
I was born here in Kigali a few years back.
Very few.
Very few.
Yeah.
A few years back.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of a family of 6 children. Yes, I'm married myself. I have 2 children. Most of the people know my sister. They all say we look alike. Yes,
You look alike, and you even look like twins.
But we are not.
Does she come right after you?
Right after me. 1 year after me.
So it's only a 1 year difference.
It's only 1 year.
That
difference.
explains it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why we all confuse you for twins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
And then
so I grew up here. I grew up here in
all the 6 of you were born here in Kigali and grew up
yes,
here.
yes.
Yeah. What were your parents doing?
My father was a civil servant. My mother, she was a teacher, but stopped for a while, but then started again. She was a teacher. She's from Kabgai. Do you know Kabgai?
Yes,
Yes,
I know
she was a teacher there as she was still single. And then as she moved to Kigali after marriage,
she stopped to start a family.
To start a family, but at a certain time, she looked for a job and started again working.
When all the 6 of you were ready to go on your own?
No, more in the middle.
Okay.
I don't remember now exactly when, but all the time I think I was knowing her working.
All right, that's good. How were you as siblings growing up? Were you serious people? Today you are very serious people. What kind of childhood did you have? Were your parents the strict type that ensured you wake up at a certain time, you're doing your homework, you're sleeping, there's no TV? Describe that household.
So do you know her?
Yes.
Our mother was very strict, even today, by the way.
So when I see you, and when I see Alice, your sister, I see this degree of seriousness. You took it from your mom.
Yes, because of course we were not serious. All children are not serious. You jump around, you play, you do everything. But she made sure that every morning we go to church at 6, Catholic church.
Every Sunday morning?
No,
Every morning?
No. Every morning. She does it today, by the way, even today.
Your mom does it even
every day? Yes.
She wakes up in the morning, goes to church.
Goes to church, first thing.
Yeah.
Yes. We did as children. Of course, when you become a teenage, you can be rebellious. You don't want to do it. You go late.
Yes.
You know.
How did your parents take that rebellion?
Of course, badly. So we got punished for all these and so on. But they were strict, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we think that being strict is bad.
It's a bad thing, but
you need some discipline. You need
Yes.
To know the boundaries and so on. So
and I think even the Bible talks about that. Teach the child the boundaries when they are young. Teach them the way when they're young. Yeah, they will uphold that. When it came to education.
Education was very important. So having a mother who has been a teacher, of course, it was very important. She was also very strict, looking at how we do our homeworks and all these. And you know, I don't know if you know that system where they call first, how do you call it? They publish the results.
Oh, the results, yes. So there's the number one
the
student
number one,
up to the 31. So your mom would come to see that
To
list.
see,
Where are my
and
children?
Exact. Where are my children and so on. So we had that pressure.
You've talked a bit about your mom and her strictness. How about the father?
He was not so strict. He was the softer one, so to say.
Okay.
Also telling our mother, she tells us this today. We didn't know at that time that you will call her, hey, be a little bit softer.
Yeah.
So trying to...
You're going to scare the children.
Exactly. But we didn't know that he was doing that. It's only now that she
reminds me
tells
of my family, because my mom was also the very strict one, and then my dad was the nice one. And somehow all the children went towards my dad. We assumed my mom was the bad parent.
Exactly.
Later on, we realized, no, maybe they had an understanding away from us. What did your dad think about educating the girl child?
Oh, that was very important for him. That was very important. So he wanted us to be educated. He wanted us to be independent. I remember when we started looking at boys.
Yay. We started receiving male visitors.
Oh, the male visitors, they had it very hard. They even didn't want to come.
Oh,
yes.
Because they would face questions.
Questions and you know, this kind of looking at them and they are like, okay, why did I come in the first place?
Yeah. And then I remember at that time they're saying, we've come for studies, we're coming for revision.
Yes, but
your
when
father could not have any of that.
But if you are not in the same school, it becomes
how are you going to explain that?
So that was not easy, but it was important for him that we finish our studies.
Okay.
I remember at the age of 18, 19, I had a boyfriend and he was like, no way, you have to study first.
Did they find out about the boyfriend?
Yes.
At 18, they found out. Did you tell them, and how did they take the news?
I did, because I don't like to hide things, so I did. Yeah. But then he was like, no way.
Yeah.
You have first to study. So that was the time where he was sending us for studies in Germany.
Okay.
He said, you have to go. You have to first study. If he's meant for you, he will wait for you.
Okay.
And second, people were telling him, how can you send your daughters so far away, you know, that way, no WhatsApp, no, you couldn't even call directly to Germany and so on. How can you send them alone to Germany? You will lose them. You don't be able. Exactly.
And were you going alone, or he sent both you and Alice together?
With Alice together. Okay. Yes.
You had relatives there?
We had the family there, but we were not in the same city anyway, so we are not.
But your father still sent you?
Yes. He was saying it's for their future. It's very important for them to study and to be independent.
Fantastic.
And maybe a small story on that about our father.
Yes, please.
He found it really hard to let his girls go. So he was like, okay, you get a child girl. You take care of her, you take all the care, education, everything. You love her. And then a man out of nowhere, we've never seen him, we've never heard about him, and just come.
To take the girl away.
To take the girl away.
Yeah.
So that was very hard for him. I think for all the three girls, it was difficult.
That was difficult. So meaning he was not the kind of father who excitedly looked forward to giving his daughters away. No. He didn't.
No.
Not because there was dowry coming. Nothing.
No.
Not because girls are supposed to get married.
No.
He didn't want
want his girls. And then he was, am I sure how they will take care of my girls now? Yeah. And that's why it was very important for him that we are independent.
And so he wanted you to be independent because he knew then you'd live a good life. Yeah. When there's no one to take care of you, you will take care of yourself. Exactly. What a father. What a father.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was very important.
How did you deal with his passing? How old were you when he passed away?
Oh, it's not long away. It was long ago. It was 2019, end of 2019.
Just recently,
yes, just recently. It was really, it's hard. It's always hard to lose
no matter
a
how
parent,
old you are.
No matter how old you are, it's always hard. But at least we are happy that by the time he left, his girls were really independent.
I'm telling you, and they were doing very well.
Doing well, yes.
You know, so now with that background, would you say it contributed to who you ended up becoming? Because looking at that kind of upbringing, you're in this home, there's church every morning, parents that are openly having discussions with you, a dad that will give a side eye to the man who comes home. Would you say that environment prepared you for what you ended up doing, the many public spaces that you ended up serving, the kind of discipline that you needed to interact with the rest of the world?
Yes, definitely. There is that part of our dad, but also of our mom. She's always been very active in the church, of course. So it was not only about going to the mass, but also being very active. Even today, she's very active in the church, serving. The Saveri movement, where it's a Catholic church kind of youth organization, and she's been there since she was young, and now as an adult,
she's still
taking care of the younger ones. Yes, she's still there.
Wow.
And of course, as a teacher, talking in public and so on. So it was always, we were seeing her doing all these things very easily and really very confident. But also our father, he was very silent.
Yeah.
Only the eyes will tell you what is happening. No? Yes. So he didn't.
He communicated with the eyes.
Yes. He communicated. So he didn't talk much, but this also influenced us in. He was always saying what is very key also in our profession.
Yeah.
To say as little as possible. You don't need to
say a lot.
Yes. Keep things for you. If it doesn't help, keep it for you.
Interesting.
Keep it for you.
He kept saying that.
Yes. If it's not relevant, keep it for you.
Which indeed is quite important.
Exactly.
In your profession.
Yes. Yeah. So there is no need just to go around
saying
things that are.
Yeah. How did you prepare yourself for the career? Give us, what did you study? How did you get spotted for the ambassadorial positions? Was that, yes, I love that. I want to hear that. And was it the first mainstream job you did? After studying in Germany. So you go to Germany at the age of 20?
Yes, at the age of 20. Yes.
What did you study when you got there?
Management.
Okay.
Yes, with a major in marketing and HR management. And then after that, I joined the embassy the embassy of Rwanda as local staff. Interestingly, because one of the people who were there said, you are good at connecting and making these relations and so on, join the embassy. So I started, of course, thinking, okay, I'll do it only for 1 year and leave, but I stayed longer. I ended up staying. And it's... I ended up liking it a lot and then staying. Because it's very important to say that I really love what I do, which is very important. If you want to do something right, you have to love it.
You have to love it.
You have to love it. And I think it's your case.
Oh, yes, it's my case. Yes. I love it with all my heart.
Exactly.
So I think it becomes, you excel at it because of the love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when you stand up every morning, it's not, I'm
It's not a
Why am I
struggle.
saying- No,
Yeah,
you
it's not a
don't
struggle.
You just say, okay, I'm doing something
Yeah.
I like and love.
Yeah. And so you grew in ranks,
Exactly. I
within
did
the
it.
embassy.
Within the embassy, and then
Yeah.
grow in ranks, and then
Yes. How did you feel when the call came that you have been appointed Rwanda's ambassador? Having
bit of whew.
considering where you started,
Exactly.
coming in as a young person and you've just gone into an embassy as local staff,
Exactly.
and then today you're being told, you're going to represent the country.
Exactly.
How did you feel? How old were you then?
First of all, do I even remember now?
You were
I
very
stopped
young.
counting.
When I look, you stopped counting, yeah. You were born a few years ago, so you even became ambassador a few years ago. When I look at your pictures and videos from back then,
Yes.
you were really a young girl,
Oh, no, not so. I think I must have been, when was that, 2009, 30 something, no, almost 40. Yes.
So
I
it's,
must
it's,
have
it's just the good genes anyway.
the good genes, but I was the youngest among the ambassadors, so at least.
You entered the history books.
Yes, and the first woman ambassador in Germany. Also.
And the first woman ambassador in
Yes,
Germany.
Yes, so
So now I really need to know how you felt when you were told.
So exactly, I was like, are they serious?
Yes.
Can they trust me?
What have I done to be
Exactly.
trusted?
Yes. And here again, I'm really thankful to our president, His Excellency Paul Kagame, because I think it's not easy also to trust and say, okay, you
not
girl,
easy.
go and do.
Yeah.
But I also knew that I have the support. Whenever I need support, I will find it. I had first, of course, to talk about it with my husband, because yes, it affects the whole family. It's not only me now, but it affects the whole family. So it's important that the family also agrees and support.
Did he quickly say yes?
He's the one even pushing me, saying, yes, go for that. Of course you can do it.
That's a surprise, because some African man will say no. You want to take that position so that I become the wife and you're the husband in the house? I will not allow it.
Yes, I'm lucky also on that end, that my father, as I was saying, our father, he was very supportive. Pushing us, but by the way, the time I got also that information, he said, "Hey, are they sure you, my small girl, will you make it?"
Yes, he asked.
So for him, I think we stayed at the age of 10 or
yes, you never grew old. Much as he was preparing you for independence, you didn't attain it.
So it was. I even remember the first time. So once I was appointed, there is all these around, and then I was about to. I told them. So I came home and I said, okay, tomorrow I have an appointment with the minister. I think it must have been the Minister for Foreign Affairs. And he was like, hey, what will be wearing now? I even didn't think about it before.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. You have to look for a long scarf, and telling me how
not too tight.
Not too tight and sit tight. So he was still looking at us.
Wait, who was saying that? That was your dad?
Yes, and also telling my dad that, talk to your daughter.
Yes.
Talk to your daughter. She's meeting a minister tomorrow.
That is so funny.
But our mother is more pragmatic. She was like, but do you know where she meets outside there, where she is?
Yes.
So
she has never changed her dress code. Let her wear the things you...
And he was, no, now it's serious. Now it's serious.
My goodness, yeah.
So it's always, we
I
talk
love
about
that.
it. And
yes, no, that's such a beautiful story.
Yes.
And then, so what would you say? We're going to move away from this part and go to something else, but I want to know, because then you served in Germany, you did the Nordic countries, you even represented us in Russia. What was the best part about that phase of your life? What is the most memorable event that you have in mind?
Oh, But, there is so many things that happen. So you know, it's 12 years. So there is so many things happening. But the best part I was enjoying it was the ambassador of Tanzania. And he used to say, Kagame's daughter is coming.
Whenever you're going to meet.
Yes. Because he was saying, you are doing it the way
he does it.
He does it so. And I said, yes. So he's our role model, we have to do.
That's
and if
the
he
thing.
sends me here, I have to do it the way he.
Yes.
So
the way he would
not
do
pretending, of course, that I'm doing it, but really trying to do your best, trying to make an influence, to make an impact, and change, to try to change the way things were working. So,
and you know, that is an important position. As an ambassador, you're representing the country. You're the face of the president.
Exactly.
So indeed, you have to be exemplary and the perfect representation of him.
Yes.
So if they used to say Kagame's daughter is coming, it means you lived up to the expectation.
That's what I was thinking. Yes.
Oh, wow. The husband?
The husband.
Did he say, how was the entire experience? How would he feel when events are being hosted and it's the wife being recognized before he gets recognized?
He's my best advisor. Yes. So I'm really happy to have him because he tells me the truth. So and then I also told him at the beginning, if you feel like I'm losing it, please hold me back down to earth and tell me.
Wow. How did you strike that balance? It's good you bring that up then. How did you strike that balance? Because you're the ambassador. You are the representative of Rwanda. And I would expect that you'd be the same whether you're at the embassy or you're at home.
No. This is one of the I think the best advice I got. A friend who told me, Christine, you are now becoming the ambassador. Be careful. You will be ambassador at the embassy, but not at home.
You were told?
Yes. So
and you say it was the best advice?
And it was the best advice. So really to make the difference. And the way you work and act at the embassy or as an ambassador out there, it's not the way you should be acting at home. Really to find that balance. And
that's good advice for a career woman. Because women, we struggle. We struggle with career. Yes. You can imagine there are those who will delay to get married and have children because they don't know what kind of shift that will be. Others will lose their job because the demands at home outweigh and at times they will lose their marriage because now the husband feels like I no longer have a voice in this house. And the woman also feels like now that I am bringing in more money, now that I have a bigger title, you need to know your place. From your experience, you're saying no.
No, I think the most important is to keep the respecting each other as partners, as husband and wife. So it goes both ways.
Yes.
If I don't want him to talk to me in a certain way, I should not talk
to him in that way.
Exactly. Yes. So really to be mindful, to be aware.
Yes.
Of course, we are not perfect also to be ready to apologize when we do something wrong, which is also very important. Yes, I have my rights, I know them, but how do I make him to understand it without being disrespectful, without making him feel like he's not respected, or as you are saying, I don't have anything to say. No, he's still. We all both have something to say. At home, it's our joint home.
I love that. And communication, what role has it played? It's key.
It's key. It's key. So whatever you do, you communicate. So we communicate a lot.
Yeah.
Being work-wise, being privately, how you feel. Sometimes, of course, you feel down, you feel bad. So he needs to know.
Make it known.
To make it known.
Yes, he's not an angel.
No.
She is not an angel.
Yes. But to make it, so communication is really key.
Yeah.
It's really key. Because, of course, sometimes when you are stressed, For example, you are preparing an event, you are really stressed, or so he needs to know.
That's true.
That at that time,
if you seem a little bit off,
or if
he
it's
needs to know
exactly.
and
And if
understand.
you are stressed, he will not take it so personally, because of course you might be rough also. So
That's true.
if he knows, and afterwards he says, so by the way,
Mm.
because if he feels also offended, he should feel free to tell you.
Very
And
true.
he say, by the way, at that time, and then you apologize. So communication is key.
And so, going for events, and the wife is being introduced as the ambassador. How did that make him feel? That also, the introduction part.
So, we used to laugh about it because when we go together, and of course maybe it's announced the ambassador of Rwanda will be coming, and then we arrive there, and the people go straight to him, hello ambassador, and he's like, because he's taller.
Oh, no.
So he looks
He's
at me,
tall, so-
that's her, it's not me.
So he would be saying, the short person next to me is the
Is the
ambassador.
ambassador, yes.
That's a funny one.
Yes,
Oh my
because
goodness.
he's tall, and of course many people,
Yes.
even today, they expect the ambassador is a man.
Yes. True. It wouldn't be a woman.
It would be.
Is his
Maybe
height?
when I come alone, they know, okay, it must be her.
Yeah.
But when we are together all the time,
The assumption is he's the one.
he's the
They
one.
start with him.
Exactly.
They introduce him.
Exactly.
Is his height the reason you wear high heels all the time? Because I've never seen you in flat shoes.
That's the reason why, yes. So that at least you can see me. Because
The shoes make you visible.
Yes. And sometimes the photographers, when we are making photos, they struggle. Because if you get him, you won't, you get my hairs. And if
We'll
you get
miss
me,
you.
you get his belly.
Welcome back to The Real Talk on RTV. We are live on Rwanda Television YouTube channel. Please visit and please share the link as well and talk to us on social media. The hashtag is The Real Talk. We are at Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. You should visit them. They've got Atmosphere Restaurant, kind of a small lunch there, lunch meeting, a birthday, or an engagement party. My name is Jackie, and our guest is Ambassador Christine. We will be talking about Rwanda Cooperation because now we've come from that place where we know her. Let's now get to the organization that she currently heads. Ambassador Christine, Rwanda Cooperation Initiative. How did you end up there, and what is the mandate of the organization?
I ended up there by yellow paper.
By yellow paper.
By yellow paper, yes.
Yes, I
By
love
yellow
that.
paper. So I ended up there by yellow paper in March 2022. I came back from Sweden in I think end of September, in September 2021, and joined Rwanda Cooperation as I said, 2022, March 2022. Rwanda Cooperation has been created in September 2018. So Rwanda Cooperation has been around for a while.
Yes.
Almost 5.5 years now. Almost 6, yes. And our mandate is basically to share knowledge and experiences with countries from the global south, countries that wish to learn from our experience, to learn from our transformation journeys in the last 3 decades.
Yep.
Rwanda, July
We marked 30 years.
1994.
Yes.
After the genocide against the Tutsi. Rwanda today, what happened in between.
I know.
So
yeah.
That's what we share. So we do it in the framework of South-South and triangular cooperation. South-South cooperation means cooperation among the countries from the global South. Global South relate usually to countries that are still developing.
Similar countries.
Similar countries, exactly. But also triangular cooperation, and it becomes triangular where we have a third party joining our efforts. It can be development partners, the World Bank, UNDP, or other partners that join efforts that we are making in the global south.
What are those efforts? What are some of those efforts?
Those efforts is just the working together, learning from each other. It's important to mention that we are learning from each other because whenever someone learns from you, usually you should be also
learning from them.
Exactly. So we have different services that we offer. We have two categories. The first one is study visit. I think we are most known for that.
Study visit.
Many people know that we receive many delegations. So far, we have received, we have an average of 4 delegations per week. Received.
So they come, sit with you.
Exactly.
You share with them the story. You share the homegrown solutions that have worked. That is exciting.
So we share the homegrown solution. This is one part, but we also share the good practices.
Okay.
Because at that time, as we were looking at how to build Rwanda, we also didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and went also on benchmarking visits to look at how people are doing things elsewhere. We adopted it, but then adapted it to the Rwandan context. So no copy-paste, but really adapted it to the Rwandan context. So interestingly enough, there are countries where we went to benchmark on them. We came, adapted, and now they're coming again to look at how we are
because
doing.
you outdid yourselves.
Exactly. So this is also happening.
That is nice, yes.
And it's really nice. So we have received more than 500, as of now, 580 delegations, more than 5,100 delegates coming from 64 countries.
Those are many. What can a young Rwandan learn from the cooperation? Because we have these delegations, but now coming back home, what can you teach us? Can we also organize ourselves in delegations, in small groupings, and visit?
Yes, you can. We have a big project, the exhibition journey, virtual exhibition, or Rwanda's transformation journey, meaning that, as you rightly say, young people, they also might take it for granted. They might not understand what happened and how it went. So we have started gathering the content, also talking to the people who were there at that time, who contributed to all these homegrown solutions. How did they come up? The ones who developed the gender policies, all these, putting it together so that we will have an exhibition, state-of-the-art exhibition, where people come in, not only foreigners, of course, Rwandans themselves, that they understand the concept of homegrown initiatives, but also what we add on top of the homegrown initiatives to be able to achieve the results we see today.
Why do you think it's important for us to tell our story and share our experience?
It's very important because we also learn from others. So, and at a certain point, we also realized that people were coming. The story of Rwanda speaks loud for itself. So people, we also ask delegations every now and then, how did you hear about Rwanda, or why did you choose to come? And then we say, oh, I saw a video and I was like, wow, that's interesting, let's see. Or someone visited and informed them, Visit Rwanda is making a huge difference. All these efforts are very important, and it all works together and fits together and add to each other, because when we say Visit Rwanda, it's about, how do you call it, tourism. But people also say, okay, let's go and learn about Rwanda, not only visiting Rwanda, but let's learn from Rwanda. Let's hear how they did their policies, programs, and so on. And then usually at the end of we have a welcome note usually with them when the delegation arrives. Of course, there is an extensive exchange with the delegation before they
get here,
so that we really understand what they want and their expectations. And we have a tailored program, tailor-made program. So
for different delegations.
For different each delegation has own tailored program. And then we receive them, of course, at the airport and then take care of them. And we start with introducing ourselves. Because
Yes.
sometimes they see Rwanda Cooperation is writing, but who is Rwanda Cooperation? What's the mandate and what are they doing?
Yeah.
So that they understand who is receiving them and why we are the one receiving them and what we offer. And then at the end, we also sit together, kind of debriefing, wrap-up session. So to have their feedback,
Yes.
if we met their expectations, and most importantly, if they see areas where we can collaborate, and this become our second kind of services, which is, I would say, our technical services, where we can send Rwandan experts now to their countries to develop policies, programs, implement, but not to adapt it to their own context.
Most importantly.
Most importantly,
Yes.
to adapt it to their own context, or even really implement a full project. So we've digitized, for example, the public finance management in the Republic of Chad, their tax system, e-tax.
And they picked that after visiting.
They picked that after visiting.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So this is also the other part of our work that many don't see, is like there is also a follow-up. There are projects that are born. We are now digitizing public finance management in Eswatini, public procurement in Guinea. So we are in discussion with other countries.
Yeah.
So all this is also happening. And of course, the most important what they tell us is the trust.
Yes.
The trust in our country, the trust in our leader.
Yeah.
They see how we do things. They want really to learn from us and say, okay, how can we also implement that one?
Trust is very important. I was watching the police symposium during the week, and somebody mentioned it, and they said, there could be many different countries that have a lot to offer, but what makes them miss out is trust. So it becomes easier for Rwanda to do things and for Rwanda to collaborate with others because the leadership is trusted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
trust
So most of the trust is really important.
It's like the driver.
The driver of all of it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then they know they always say yes, yes. Your leadership is the key to success.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So,
where do you see the cooperation in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years? What's your plan?
So we want also to become a global player, not only now. As I mentioned, we have received delegation from 64 countries, 47 from the continent, but also beyond. So we have received now delegation from Jamaica, Yemen, Pakistan, from the global north, like UK, Sweden, Germany. So we receive really delegations from all over.
That's a good thing.
And we want to position ourselves also as a global player. So South-South cooperation is gaining momentum in different fora. There is also a UN South-South cooperation office. Many countries, and it's the same for us, we see it also as a new way of collaborating, with the advantage that we discuss with each other with respect, on equal footing. So there is no, I know everything and I'm
superior.
I'm superior. No, we are all learning, respecting each other. But of course, also it brings another dimension that was not there. So we were like, everything good come from the north.
That's it.
That's not the truth.
Yeah.
We have a lot of wealth of knowledge, of experience in the global south that we can really exchange among ourselves. To reach our respective views, to reach the SDGs, and of course our Africa Vision 2063. So this is the strong belief that drives that.
Do you have any comment on the CEO Business Forum that ended recently and what such events mean for the continent?
It's very important because it's always important that we see it as Africans and find solution amongst ourselves. I would say I felt sad as I think the CEO of is it Total? Was
Yes.
say,
The one who was on the panel with
exactly,
Dangote.
Dangote.
Yes.
So moving freely on the continent.
More freely than the
than
richest man on the continent.
Exactly.
Yeah, that made all of us sad.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's a very sad
I hope
state.
it was really eye-opening for many, so that we realize
Yeah.
that we can't continue like this.
We can't continue like that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We really need to realize that we are one and we are strong if we join our forces.
Yes.
We have everything we need on the continent. We have.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
Yes. And the rest of the world, they also know it.
The rest of, thank you. They do.
And
Sometimes
they
it
knew
feels.
it before
Sometimes it
us.
feels like they know it more than we know it.
That's
Yes.
what I wanted to say.
That's the thing.
They knew it before us, and they kept hiding it us from us.
You see?
Yes.
And
they
even
kept
right now, when
hiding
it's out there, it's staring at us. We're still delaying AFCFTA, you know, giving all sorts of excuses, trying to protect the little things we have.
Exactly.
Yet we can open up and as Africa have something big together.
Exactly.
Would,
it's not only big, it's immense.
Immense, not big. Ambassador Christine, I'll have you back here someday and we'll talk more about AFCFTA and how we can trade together. That we'll have.
Absolutely.
For now, let's go to 6Qs. This is The Real Talk on RTV. Please do share the link and share your thoughts as well. If you've enjoyed the conversation, please let us know. We're looking at Ambassador Christine's 6Qs. Question number 1, what is the best life advice that you have received?
I've already said it.
Would we call that marriage advice or life advice?
I think it's life, because it's not only about marriage. It's about
That's true,
really combining life.
Yes.
It's life, work and
Yes.
and private and. Yes.
So that is the best life advice. What is the best career advice?
The best career advice was to always do my best. Always do my best. And I think that was also from my husband. He told me to remain authentic.
Yes. I look forward to meeting your husband one of these days. He seems to have had a very strong influence on you. Huh? Behind a strong woman.
I don't know if you know.
Behind a strong, what do they say? I think they say, behind every strong man, there's a strong woman.
It's also.
So it's reverse as well. Behind every strong woman, there's a
find.
strong man.
Absolutely.
He's an amazing person. And what is your favorite hobby?
I like reading since I was a child. Reading, and sports, exercising.
It shows. The other day, I met you working out, and indeed, if you and I stood together, the world will tell who does sports and who does. My goodness. My other question to you is, what is your mantra? What is that thing that guides you?
To remain positivity. Look for the positive. Don't dwell on the negative. There's so much.
In fact, the negative always shows itself. You don't even have to look.
Yes, you ignore. Because we tend to look at the negative and be taken down by the negative. Yet there are so many positive things we can be grateful for, even for just being here.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
We take a lot of things for granted. And then if you were stuck on an island and you could only have one item, what would that be?
I think it would be a book.
A book?
Yes.
And a real hard copy book. Not,
Yes.
You won't use the excuse of an what do they call those?
That one
the e-books.
The problem with the telephone, you have so many things at the same time.
So you won't really read. You have
if
WhatsApp.
I sell telephone, it's not one item.
I hear you. It's a book.
It's a book, because that one you have so many things.
Yeah.
You can even send emails. So you have everything.
You know, you will decide to go to TikTok to watch videos.
Yeah, exactly. You go to
Instead
video,
of reading.
YouTube. You can call. You can WhatsApp. You can read. So it's not one
It'll
item.
be the book. Yeah, not one item. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And then, lastly, what would you say to 20-year-old Christian? Because whatever you say to the 20-year-old Christian will be picked by the 20-year-old that is currently watching the program.
20-year-old Christian.
Yes.
Enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment.
Because I came to realize that sometimes you think you take things for granted and so on, but then I realized when the time is gone, it's not coming back.
Yeah.
So enjoy the moment. Really intentionally enjoy the moment.
Sometimes we get lost in what's coming,
What's
in the things we
coming,
hope for,
or
in
what was,
or what was.
yes,
We forget
yes,
to live
yes,
in the
in the
moment and
moment.
enjoy.
Exactly, and enjoy it.
Thank
Because
you for
then you
that, yeah.
realize later on, oh, I could have enjoyed more.
That's the thing.
Yes,
So
yes.
don't waste the opportunity.
No, absolutely not.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
You are amazing. I've enjoyed myself. I've learned so much. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
making
thank you.
time.
Thank you for having me.
It has been such a pleasure for me to have a sit down with Ambassador Kristen. She's amazing. And I do hope that you found her story rich and worthy as well. I do hope that it has spoken to you, your career life, your professional life, that is, and your family life as well. Whatever aspect of life, I hope you've picked a nugget, one or two things that will steer you in the right direction. Would love to hear from you. Talk to us using the hashtag #TheRealTalk. Thank you for making time. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. God bless you.